A lovely morning to you out there on ABS, the 6th day of March 2025. My name is Ajuluchuku Okabwe.
My name is Nonye Nwokoye. Good morning and welcome to our show for today. It's Good Morning Anambra show, and as usual, we begin with the press review.
Don't go anywhere because we'll be right back and then bring you up to date with the nitty-gritty of activities that we have for you this lovely morning. The show is about to start. The tradition here, we begin the newspaper review with news making the headlines on ABS website. And the first news we have for you this morning is Soludo gives roadside traders 2 weeks to relocate from new Ekulobia flyover project to market provided by state government. We have answered congratulates Soludo on Sun Newspaper Governor of the Year Award. Anambra State Exco approves contract for more strategic projects. INEC prepares for by-elections. Governorship election in Anambra State assures of level of playing ground. Anambra State kickstarts 2024-2025 career day for secondary schools. And also we have over 5,000 youth empowered in first phase of the Anambra State One Youth Two Skills Empowerment Program. Ash Wednesday, Lenten season commences with Mass church services. SAFA throws gate open for 2025 FIFA Under-17 World Cup qualifier against Nigeria. Tinubu appoints Ogunjimi new Accountant General of the Federation. And then we have China set 5% growth target despite trade war with United States of America. That's all we have for you on the website of the ABS.
All right, a lot of stories actually making their headlines this morning on ABS website. But I think the most laudable one is the awarding of contracts. You know, I was so happy when I saw the news this morning, and what is dominant is hospitals. I was so happy when they talk about, equipping Amako General Hospital. And of course, with what is it called? This all these cylinders, oxygen, and whatever. And another one is, the solution fund city that is being put up. You know, and in fact, I don't know. I advertised that solution fund city last December. You know, one of my cousins was complaining that the kids refused to come home for Christmas. I said that he was talking of what can interest them around, and I said that by December this year, try and bring them home, that you take them to Solution Fund City, they will like it. Because I think this should be the biggest around.
Yeah, like it's been said, it's the biggest in West Africa. So definitely let's see how it's going to pan out when it finally swings into action. I think it's long overdue that we need a place like this where kids can go recreate and adults too can equally go and have a very, very swell time with their family. It will help, bonding and the rest of it all, and probably income generation too. For
yes,
the state,
and you talk about the fund allocated for the, finishing of the new government house too. And of course the Umweri airport. Yeah. Yes, these are captured, and I just pray that the funds will be judiciously put into use.
Under the watchful and dogged
for the purposes.
I believe so. With the pragmatic approach that Soludo has been, using, I'm sure that those funds will definitely be put to good use. And there are other capital projects that will definitely be needing his attention. But then we believe that we can't put all fingers in our mouth and be chewing at the same time. So I think it has to do with one after the other. Like still talking about the project that we're talking about, the second phase of the One Youth Two Skills that made the news on the ABS website too. That one too is laudable. We have to keep thanking the amiable governor for doing the necessary thing, getting our youth engaged, because this is the first that drives the economy. And when you, like I keep saying, no wonder they keep calling me the advocate of women. If you empower youth, women, and the likes of it, young men, and it will reduce crime rates, you understand, a whole lot.
You
and
can imagine over 5,000 of them empowered.
So.
And another thing, I think last year, something was said about, a follow-up to the one youth, two skills.
Yeah.
For instance, when they give you funds or when you are empowered to start up something, from time to time there should be some people that will check in
to see
to
make sure that
how you guys are faring.
It is very, very important.
All right, and I don't know. Yesterday was Ash Wednesday. It was a solemn day for Christians all around the world. And let's quickly let you understand that it's beginning of fasting and prayer for every Christian around, and of course, it's a time that we go through to think about what Jesus Christ has done for us as Christians. And of course, the Bible says he knew no sin, but he died that we may live. He took upon himself the iniquity of us all. Actually, we're not here to preach, but actually, that's the essence of Ash Wednesday, going through 40 days of fasting and prayers. So let's go through this season, trusting God to do something great in our lives.
Definitely. Well, you just dropped it there like a preacher.
All right, let's quickly run. The first paper for review this morning is the Daily Times newspaper. Let's see stories making their headlines in front of the Daily Times. The banner headlines in front of the Daily Times says, "We are building viable, globally competitive economy." That's coming from our president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. On sexual harassment allegation, court stops Senate probe as police disperse pro-Natasha protesters. Okay, FG approves a 103 billion naira for health sector, expands local manufacturing support. Obasanjo at 88, Tinubu Atiku extol his virtues, says he is an enigma. Federal government to tackle illegal private airplane operators. Keyamo speaking. All right. I don't know. These stories in front of the Daily Times. When you look at Obasanjo, in fact, I saw Obasanjo on November in Abuja. He was looking so strong. You see the way he climbed stage. That day he spoke at an event. The way he climbed the stage, very strong, and I think he's getting smaller, which is, I think, is very good for his health at this point in time.
Probably that is some very good dieting that he must have been back compared to the Obasanjo that we used to know that was a giant some time ago. And that's what age does actually to you. But then Obasanjo at 88, that really tells a whole lot about this living elder statesman. It's not actually easy, from the military era down to the civilian era and down to the betting of this democracy that has gone unhindered in the past, let's say, since 1999 to date. That should be 26 years we've had uninterrupted democracy. And the struggle, the June 12 and the rest of it all, both the incarceration and everything. So
congratulations to him.
This young man really needs to drop a book.
Is he young?
No, of course, at 18. I remember then my grandfather used to say, though he died at 93, when he was 80 thereabouts, even up to the 90. When you addressed him as Mpa, I was thinking, well, I'm a young man. I'm a young man. You know a young man. I'm saying, yeah. I'm a young man too. So he says, as long as you're a young man, I'm a young man too.
That's a very good one.
So, and I believe Obasanjo, based on the fact that you said he was young, looking vibrant,
was very strong.
Definitely you still
I would pray for more healthy years, and may he continue to age gracefully. That's what we have to say. Now, you can see the 10.3 billion naira for health sector. That's I think something actually is happening in our health sector in Nigeria. You know, owing to what we saw in Anambra with the approval or awarding of contracts to, you know, refurbish our health sector down here. Federal government are not leaving any stone unturned in that aspect. And another thing is that while they refurbish the hospitals, they need to equally look into the welfare of doctors and nurses, all those working in hospitals, so that it's going to complement all the money they will spend refurbishing the hospitals. Yeah. Those that are supposed to work there should also work with every happiness in them, you know. Okay, the next paper for review.
Yeah, the next paper is still talking about the grand breaking ceremony, and that's the Punch newspaper this morning. First Bank headquarter groundbreaking ceremony. Yesterday we talked about the building looking like the Khalifa, the Burj Khalifa there in Abu Dhabi. But then this is not even close to it. But then we need to celebrate something, because we just had the tallest building in Nigeria is a 40-story building there. And Tinubu's laid foundation for First Bank's new eco-friendly headquarter. And then we have, what are we talking about? Assembly lists for breaches by Fubura that threatens RSI, that is River State Independent Electoral Commission's chair's arrest. And that's all we have for you. And then we probably will say sexual harassment. Senate dismisses Natasha's petition, Kogi Senator Sean's panel. And that's what we have here on the front page of the Punch.
And quickly we take a look at the Daily Independent before we talk. At no time will I ever harass any woman, Akpabio declares, which riders there denies a sexual harassment allegation. Natasha petition Senate. Upper Chamber promises Akpoti Odua fair hearing. Natasha Akpabio's supporters clash at National Assembly. A Northern Elders Forum asks Senate President to step aside. Natasha Sean's Committee on Ethics privileges public petitions. Court holds Senate's disciplinary action against Natasha. Now, we are building sustainable global competitive economy, coming from President Tinubu. Says Obasanjo is helping to shape public policies leadership. Atiku describes Obasanjo as precious gift to Nigeria. FEC okays 10.3 billion naira for HIV, AIDS, HB drugs, diabetes test kit. Rivers Electoral Body fixes August 9 for fresh local government election. FCC PC use multi-choice over violating regulatory directive. And Nigeria's electricity hits 6,003 megawatts, says Minister. Okay, that's the much you have coming from the Daily Independent newspaper. And I don't know, we look at the banner headlines, you know, the issue of Akpabio and Natasha. A lot is going on actually. And at the time I said, I don't like this anymore. You know, they should do something better. Because yesterday I saw a video of women protesting in, I don't know if that is Rivers or where.
It should be in Akwa Ibom.
Okay.
After all, the Senate President is from Akwa Ibom.
So you can imagine, one woman was asked a question, why are you supporting Akpabio? He said, I don't know, I just like him, I want to support him. The woman don't even know why they protest
what the mobilization
actually
is for.
In fact, I give kudos to the journalist that interviewed that woman. You know, the woman, they asked him, he said, I don't even know who Natasha is. I don't even know what is happening between the two of them. You can imagine what is going on now, as, you know, people taking it to another length, which I wouldn't know. And you can imagine they said the protesters for Natasha and Akpabio clash in Abuja. So they equally came out in Abuja.
I want to believe that this issue between the Senate President and Natasha is beyond these two people.
What do you see?
Yeah, these two people. I think there is a fraction in that chamber, you know, in the Alo chamber, that are using or wanting to use this opportunity to smear the image of the Senate president. Irrespective, nobody's calling anybody a saint here. You understand? But people are now using this opportunity to like, man, let us bring, you understand, this young man's reputation down and the rest of it all. On the other side, too, for them to both have, fan group, you understand? So it's like the same thing, too. Maybe they will say, Natasha, you're thinking that because you're wealthy, your husband is rich and the rest of it. So I think there are people that are fanning the embers of this conflict more than even the people involved in it. Because I believe if it were just these two people on their own, based on the reputation and the status that they command in the society, they would have just buried the artist. And
as you're talking, something is coming to my mind. You know where the scripture says, there are certain things that should not be mentioned amongst God's people as becoming saints. I'm not saying that they are saints, but their level in the society. There are things that shouldn't be mentioned among some great people. That's why we have to be careful. Once you're in public domain, a public figure, you're no longer yourself. You no longer own yourself. People own you. So we should be careful of how we live our lives, what we do. Even as an ordinary person, it is always careful to live right.
No, yeah. The longer this issue lingers, the more unraveling and the more dirty linen
it becomes
that will be brought to the glare of every person. If these people knew what, the internet never lies. Somebody will go and dig up things that you did 20, 25 years ago.
Some that you may even have forgotten.
Some that you've even forgotten. So it's better you just, as reasonable people, let's just end it here. You guys had your past.
In fact, I thought the thing has ended. When I saw that...
at no time will I ever harass any woman. Will I ever? Probably you have before in the past. Will you ever? Or have I ever? Whatever. But based on what the caption here is, that's the Akpabio declaring. So a great person from the past, they call it a blast from the past, will just come and then divert the attention of the entire country to one incident that you probably had with her.
All right.
You understand? So these are not the kind of things that
we take a look at these pictures in front of the Daily Independent newspaper, where we have so many faces that won award. It said Independent 2024 award winners. So Sun has concluded their own last weekend. So Independent actually also did their own. We can see faces there.
These are all known faces in Nigeria. I was looking for faces of inventors, faces of people that have blazed the trail. Teachers. These are I don't sincerely speaking, award doesn't have anything, irrespective of who wins the award. As far as I know, if you're going to be giving an award, except you're looking for a fundraising gala night or dinner night, you call that what it is. But you don't come up here and be telling us that these are the best people to have achieved whatever it is that they achieved. These are governors elected to run the affairs of a state. Whatever they are doing is not even out of their own personal pocket. They are using state taxpayers' money, and then you're giving somebody. Why don't you go out there, look for people that are serving Nigeria, not expecting much with the little that they are doing, and I'm sure there are a list.
Ajula governor is also there.
Irrespective of who is there. That's what I'm trying to make you understand. Enough of all these awards. To me, it makes no sense. Are there no sportsmen in Nigeria worthy of giving an award, even though this is not a sports gala?
Maybe we'll just be telling them to include those.
What of journalists
in their next award?
You understand? What of the editors that are in these newspaper houses? Don't they deserve awards? What of the everyday man that goes to work? There are people that have worked 30 years, 35 years, no records in the civil service that they have worked, no records, no blemish. These are the people that Nigerians ought to know.
Should be celebrated.
Exactly. You don't celebrate these people that after their tenure, EFCC will start running after them for one embezzlement and mismanagement of funds. Enough of all these things, because this is making a caricature and a ridicule of who we are as a nation. We should stop all these things. It doesn't actually, cut the mustard seed. Let's give award to whom award is due.
In other words, awards are good, but should be given to the people
based
that
on
are
merit.
deserving.
Okay. You don't bring governors
the Guardian newspaper. Let's see. The Guardian newspaper. Let's see. The stories is still the First Bank history making in front of the Guardian this morning. It says First Bank headquarters groundbreaking ceremony. We can see the picture by the down right. That's the edifice they are planning to put up. I wonder how long this will take to come up. But whatever happens, we are seeing Oyibo in our land, you know. And it says First Bank takes first shot as Nigeria's Manhattan commences 44-story edifice. A big congratulations to First Bank, and we pray that it is completed in good time, you know. And Daily Trust is next. That's his story.
And yeah, the Daily Trust is next for review this morning, and then we have the banner headline: alleged sexual harassment. Senate dismisses Natasha's petition against Akpabio. And we have Funtua battles T.Y. Danjuma, orders over 9 mobile. Security beefed up at hotel where ex-CG Paradang was found dead. Ipo attacks Gombe farmers keep vigil on farms. And then we have a Supreme Court judgment, Rivers, to hold fresh local government election come August 9. And then we have also down there this missed immigration officer nabbed over attempt to sell arms to bandits. Wow. Woman accused of killing co-wife in Bauchi. Subscription hike. Commission sues multi-choice. Multi-choice. And we have the Akpabio must go. That's a placard there. Akpabio treated Natasha. Well, I can't see that one very well. These are, they say, daughter and friend committee. Who knows where? Now we are having supporters on both sides of, you understand, the divide here. Natasha's supporters.
Please, can we talk about some other things?
What is it called?
You know, the issue of holding a fresh local government election in Rivers in August 9th. Don't you think it's too long? I thought they said they want to do it immediately. Because as of yesterday, they said the governor set to conduct another election immediately.
Well, so immediately to them probably is as early as August 9. I really wouldn't know why that August would be tentative for them to have decided that. Probably maybe to put everything in place to actually make sure that no person, I'm sure both parties, the Wike camp and the Kubara camp, will definitely probably have something to do about that date. Either of them will definitely have something to do with that date. But then, like what we say, justice has never been served in an equitable manner, even if in the case of death, because the best justice would have been bringing back the person that you killed. But in this case, let's just see that the peace that the Rivers people actually need, you understand, will come to them so that development can transcend to every nook and cranny of that state. There is no how you can bring development when the man that is running the state affairs is not even having a peaceful night rest, sincerely speaking. So to me, I don't know, because...
And the time needed to run around to build a river state for the people, the person is busy, going to one place or the other.
He has not even sat down to even know if Wike actually did good, or maybe there was some money that was embezzled that EFCC need to even call him to come and account for. This guy has just been on his toes, going to Abuja, consulting and doing the rest of it. Nothing has actually been done. I wonder how the people of Rivers are actually managing with this. But let's see how it unfolds, because...
Okay, look at dismissed immigration officer nabbed over attempt to sell arms to bandits. You know, at a time, they started giving
immigration
arms. When you want to go to an immigration office,
yeah, they have the military aspect of the immigration.
They started newly, I think about 4 or 5 years ago.
They have the
that was when they... Could that be the arms that he collected to sell to bandits?
Oh, yeah. I don't think it's to probably... Sometimes you begin... This is not the first time we've read this. We've read about police nabbed. You understand, trading arms.
No, you said that police they are known with arms, you know. They started with arms, but these ones, I believe sure they were not using arms.
So probably, since he was dismissed, now let him continue looking for a way to survive. And that's the unfortunate aspect of it. And then you begin to wonder, how does insecurity continues? You understand, continue to fester in different parts of the country. These are the clear case, you understand, of such. So I wonder what this young man will be doing after these allegations or after this proof, you understand. He should be incarcerated, and then dealt with accordingly to the
law.
as the law stipulates.
Oh. Okay, let's move to the Nigerian Tribune. That's the next paper. Let's see stories making their headlines. Groundbreaking of new headquarters. Tinubu lauds First Bank. Management's foresight and achievements. Sanwo-Olu okays a certificate of approval for construction. We can see pictures there. First Bank headquarters groundbreaking ceremony. A lot of great men in attendance there, and you know, the foundation was actually laid by our president Tinubu. I think it was represented there by the vice president. Okay, that's just the story in front of the Nigerian Tribune. The blueprint.
Yeah, the blueprint is next. We'll review this morning, and we have our fake votes, 10.3 billion naira for HIV/AIDS diagnostic kits, diabetes medication. Senate to Natasha, sexual harassment, petition against Akpabio, dead on arrival. Says, court can't save you. Anti-Akpabio protesters storm NAS. NEF orders urge caution. That you can find on page 10 of the Blueprint newspaper. We have Niger Foods Partners, NALDA, Youth Ministry to engage 100,000. And we have Supreme Court judgment, Fubara fixes Rivers LG election for August the 9th. And then we have our First Bank, defrauded by, can I see that clearly?
Defined by resilience.
Okay, defined by resilience, unshakable customer commitment. That's coming from. And then we have a World Cup qualifiers, Zimbabwe capable of beating Super Eagles in Uyo. That's coming from Coach Nice. That's all we have for you on the front page of the Blueprint newspaper. And we still have one story here. Innocent Halls Mba, Hales Mba on security, says manufacturers. That story is incomplete.
Okay, Lagos lawmakers deny holding reconciliatory, whatever. Okay.
It's not complete.
All right. I don't know which of the stories we are taking a look at. Okay, it's still kudos to the health sector in Nigeria. Thank God for government waking up at this point to see the need to fund our health sector. Just like we said earlier, as they are refurbishing the health sector, they should also look into the welfare of our doctors and nurses and other health workers in the country. Now, Supreme Court judge, okay, we've seen that story before. And of course, Niger Food Partners now, the youth ministry to engage 100,000. Okay, that's a good one. Youths are being engaged, and I think when individuals or what our entrepreneurs join forces with the government, as the government has empowered more than 5,000 in Anambra State, when other well-spirited individuals comes up to take more youth, we'll see that crimes will be reducing, if not being able to eradicate crimes completely, because there is no free society, a society without crime. We cannot actually bring it down to the barest minimum.
Well, that's good. That's good news. There's another story I wanted to talk about, and that's on the Daily Independent, talking about Nigeria capacity, power generation hitting 6,003 megawatts. Wow, that's coming from the minister. But that's still not, that's a far cry to what we actually need to be counted among developing nations, sincerely speaking. And when other countries are talking about 24,000 megawatts and we are here talking about 6,000. But let's say that's a move in the right direction. The most important thing is
that let them make this power available to Nigerians. We are supposed to, at this point, we're not supposed to be experiencing blackouts here now and then.
I think there should be a power summit. You understand? What I mean by power summit, every minister, both for state and federal, that has been Minister of Power, the President, and those that have worked in that finance department really need to come and sit down and tell us how come we've invested $13 billion?
It seems you're waking up.
No. How come we've invested $13 billion?
That would be a very beautiful idea. But
in the last 26 years, and we don't have anything to show. What is actually the problem? What is so fundamentally wrong in that power sector that we can't get to fix?
And they've not.
And we're talking about 6,000 megawatts in some same climb. These are what 2-3 companies put together generate in order to have a working plant. And yet we are managing. And this 6,000 megawatts can't even give Nigeria the entire country 24 hours.
There is something I saw sometime when I traveled to the West. I don't want to call the name of the place, but a very big place. It was a school and a place that houses both schools and all whatnot. And you can imagine their light is 24/7. I stayed there 1 week, and anytime you see light go off, it comes back immediately. So on inquiry, I found out that they used turbine to wire the entire place. So I said, if an individual can do this, why not a nation like Nigeria? We are great people. We are a great nation. There are things that we can do, but I don't know what is holding us. Is it that that we don't like good things, or that we don't want our people to enjoy good life or quality life? With that, what I saw, I said, Nigeria can do this. It's just that I don't know where the lapses are coming from, whether it is we don't have the money to do it.
We have the money. $13 billion is no chicken feed.
That's what I'm trying to say, So it is a possibility that we can have, when we give light to other countries
that one is
a
discussion for another day. There's a reason why that is happening, you understand?
All right.
But for this one is very, very pitiable, and, and power is what boosts the economy of any nation. If you want to be ranked among developing nations, you need to invest massively in the power that works.
The tax you're clamoring for, you want to collect tax from citizens. When you give them power, Nigerians, they are hard workers. When they work hard, they can pay tax. And when they come back and see that they have light, they will be happy to pay more.
Of course,
but when they don't, that's why you see people dodging tax here. Had it been in developed world, you can't dodge tax, because you pay taxes and the provisions are there for you, So when you pay your tax, you see what it is being used for. But here, you interview people on the streets, they will tell you that they don't know what government is doing with their money, because they don't see any, especially that light. If people experience light like 1 week uninterrupted, you will see that people can actually pay tax without being chased around.
You don't need to. Sincerely speaking, I think it's that time we end all this thing. Because if you have power, you will look for something to do with that power in order to make income.
We have a lot of small businesses, like hairdressers, welders that need this light, and that they use it often. Okay, we have all these roadside organizers and all what.
There are so many things. There's so many things you do.
Even in the home, when you struggle after a day's hassle, you get home to relax. Mosquito will be biting you. There's no light to put on your AC or your fan.
We should do that. It's not just all about increasing tariff, electricity tariff. Every now and then you'll be increasing, and yet we are not even seeing the light. So I think it's high time we look into this. And I remember vividly that the present president promised us power. He went viral. He said he will give us power. And let's wait and see what happens before this first tenure ends. And then if we get that which he promised us in his manifesto. Okay? I think that's the much we can actually take on this press review. Talking about the dailies we read out to you. You can go out there at any newspaper stand, pick up one of these stories that might interest you and get to read the details of it and be aware what happens in and around your country.
All right, that's it on Press Review for now. Do stand by for our discussion. We're coming back.